Tower Bridge to the ballpark. Good place to be in April. It's the Athletics and the Rangers coming up tonight. A long 4-game set. A's lost last night 8-1 to the Rangers, and they're going to try and even up the series here tonight. Game time weather brought to you by Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. It's a lovely evening, 67 degrees, 52% is the humidity, and just a little bit of wind, 12 miles per hour. But fans coming on in, ready to cheer on the green and gold. Jeffrey Springs taking the field, and the lefty will attack here at home. 4th start of the season for Jeffrey.
Yeah, I cannot wait for tonight. I went home last night, Jenny, and instantly started to get to work on tonight's ball game. Like, anytime you tell me we're going to have 2 southpaws squaring off, I'm going to get here early. I might be the first one in the building.
We know you didn't sleep, so we are ready to roll. And so are the Texas Rangers. Here's a look at their lineup. Brandon Nimmo's their leadoff hitter, hitting .338 this season. Wyatt Langford back in the lineup, missed the last couple of games, dealing with an injury. He's going to be the designated hitter. Corey Seager's hitting 3rd. Jake Berger, who had the 2 home runs last night in the cleanup spot. Sam Haggerty. Then it's Josh Young, Andrew McCutchen in the lineup, Danny Jansen, and Ezekiel Duran.
And the man on the mound tonight for the green and gold, give me the lefty, Jeffrey Springs. There's a spring in his step, and for good reason. This dude has been dominant his last 2 starts out. All 3 starts of the season so far for the left-hander have been fantastic. Coming off an incredible effort against the Yankees. 7 shutout innings, just 1 knock allowed for the lefty, and it took the old pinstripers quite a while to conjure that hit up.
It certainly did. That was a fun one out on the road. It was a fun road trip in general, and a lot of that had to do with this defense. And here's a look at what the Athletics have tonight. Austin Wynns is going to catch Jeffrey Springs. Nick Kurtz at first, Jeff McNeil at second, Jacob Wilson at short, Max Muncy at 3rd. Good news that Max is back in. More on that in a second. Tyler Soderstrom, Denzel Clark, Zach Geloff getting his first major league start in the outfield. He'll be in right field, and Jeffrey Springs off and running here. First pitch to Brandon Nimmo, and that misses outside. So first major league start of the year coming in the outfield for Zach Geloff, which is great. First time he's starting this year. He's been off the bench. We've seen him as a pinch runner. We saw him last night in the game late. And this one is going to be right to Zach Geloff. He's on the move, and he's going to have to play it off of the wall. Nimmo to second, and it's a leadoff double for the Texas Rangers.
The designated hitter, number 36, Wyatt Langford.
Well, Geloff's going to have some sun to deal with here for the first part of the ball game. Brandon Nimmo, however, jumping all over a fastball. You can see where Geloff started just left of that shaded area down the line, but you can see the sun directly in his line of sight. Going to make things tough early on. That ball well struck by Brandon Nimmo. And something this Rangers club, Jenny.
Right back to Jeffrey. He'll take a look at second and off to first. That'll retire Wyatt Langford for the first out.
Something this Rangers club has not been able to do a good job of. Let's hit these left-handers.
Yeah, it's been tough cooking as we take a look at the umpiring crew. Gabe Morales is calling balls and strikes. Edwin Jimenez is at first. The crew chief Doug Eddings at second, and Mike Malinsky at 3rd. I'll bring up the left-handed hitter in Corey Seager. Just a couple lefties in the lineup for Skip Schumacher. Trying to get the righties in tonight. And a first pitch strike.
And Jenny, the Texas Rangers, up until that Brandon Nimmo double, had been 0 for 37 against left-handers. That is a streak that was quickly put to bed, but that's indicative of the struggles for the Texas Rangers against left-handers here to start the season.
Slow grounder for Seager, and the athlete on the mound is going to work on defense. Nimmo at 3rd. 2 outs.
Well, we just got introduced to the umpires. Let's take a little bit of a deeper dive here on Gabe Morales, the man behind the plate tonight. Born in Santa Clara, attended Santa Teresa High School out in San Jose. Very familiar with the area. Left-handed pitchers, we've got a couple of them tonight. They're going to find more called strikes when they start to work the baseball arm side. So into left-handers, away from the right-handers. And that's important, I think, especially for both these fellows specifically. Both have a little life on that fastball. Both have great changeups. And I think the other key to that is you have to be able to pitch into the right-handers to open up the strike zone away. And so if there's just not much success in there, or you're not getting much love in there, could be a long night. Speaking of long night, Jake Berger hit some long balls last night. 2 of them, in fact. Pull side power, little oppo shot. That was all the Rangers offense that would be needed, frankly, against the Athletics.
Yeah, they ended up tacking on 4 more runs in the 8th inning to win 8-1. Berger said, I'm going to the farm to Fort Capital. I'm going to eat. Did that against Luis Severino, who has had trouble in the past with Berger in terms of just their career numbers. Here's the 2-1, and that's going to get into the outfield. A base hit will drive in the first run. It's 1-0. Texas ahead again.
Now batting the center fielder, wearing 0.
And this is a changeup. You can see where Austin Wynns is set up. It's a changeup that, frankly, Jake Berger just does a good job of staying on. And it's located down and away. It's probably going to be a strike. But Jake Berger able to get to it.
Brings up the switch hitter and Sam Haggerty. He's the platoon for left-handed starters, and you were alluding to it. The Rangers really haven't seen many left-handed starters, and when they have, the success just has not been there. Schumacher giving his hand to Haggerty here today. For Jeffrey Springs, that was the first run that he's allowed in the first 2 innings of a ball game so far this year. Remember last year, the troubles that he had with that first inning and the runs that he allowed. 48 of the 90 runs, so it's almost 54% came in the first 2 innings.
There's only 2 left-handers in the lineup tonight for the Texas Rangers, and frankly, Jeffrey Springs has better numbers against right-handed hitters in the early go of this season. Righty's hitting 111, left-handers 188. And how about this, Jenny? 13 punch-outs against the right-handers, 2 against the lefties.
Wow.
But that's what happens when you're not exposed to a ton of left-handed hitters. You know, I was similar in terms of who I like to see. Show me the righties all day. Change-up, screwball, and Jeffrey Springs, he's got an assortment of pitches how he can attack, but those are the numbers we're talking about. All 6 walks have been to right-handed batters.
Here's the 3-2 to Haggerty. And that'll be foul and out of play.
And something to watch tonight, I think, for the Texas Rangers is to what degree they are off balance when you start to get to 2 strikes. Maybe looking for that changeup, because Jake Berger, again, took a pretty good swing on that changeup that was very well located.
Runner taken off again on the 3-2, and the pitch missing high. Haggerty will walk to first, the 7th walk for a right-handed batter from Jeffrey Springs. First and second, 2 outs. Scott Emerson, the pitching coach, on the left. Mark Kotze on the right. They have leaned on Jeffrey Springs here in the early season. 2-0 is the record. We talked about that outing against the New York Yankees, special for the southpaw.
He was fantastic, and I think, you know, just to extend that a bit, Aaron Savali has also
absolutely
been fantastic. You know, I referred to him as the stabilizer, because I think another year down the road here for Jeffrey Springs, he's just that much more comfortable, and I think he has some high expectations for himself.
Trying to get through traffic, and he will line out to the shortstop, Jacob Wilson. 2 left on, 1 scored off a couple of hits. We'll move on to the bats to the green and gold next. Second, then it's Jacob Wilson, Tyler Soderstrom cleaning up, Max Muncy, Austin Wins, Geloff, McNeil, and Clark.
And the flip side of the Southpaw Showdown is Mackenzie Gore. He's had a pretty good start to his season as well. The newly minted Texas Ranger, 3 starts under his belt, unblemished win-loss record, sitting at 2-0. And he's got some swing and miss working, folks. Langoliers takes an early hack here. 16 1/3 innings under the belt of Mackenzie Gore so far. 25 strikeouts, just 5 walks.
Yeah, he has been good. Those 25 strikeouts ranks in the top 11 in Major League Baseball right now. Quickly 0-2 for Langoliers.
And I think the key for Mackenzie Gore is the fact that it's not just one pitch, maybe even 2 that you can sit on. He's got 3 well above average pitches in the fastball, the changeup, the curveball. But Jenny, he throws 6 different pitches, and each and every one of them featuring a 25% or higher whiff rate.
Yeah.
That's a man on the mound last night who was carving.
And Langoliers with a swing and a miss. First strikeout on the curveball. That's one for Mackenzie Gore. Let's take a look at the defense behind him. He's throwing to Danny Jansen here tonight. Jake Berger's at first. Ezekiel Duran has shifted from the outfield to the infield at second. Corey Seager, Josh Young on the left side. It's Andrew McCutcheon, the Gold Glover, in left field today. Sam Haggerty in center, and Brandon Nimmo in right field. There's a couple lineup changes for both teams with the lefties on the mound as Nick Kurtz watches the ball low, 1-0. Here's a look at Skip Schumacher, first season with the Rangers, former Marlins manager. He was also the National League Manager of the Year back in 2023, his first season with Miami. High in the air on the left side, and McCutcheon will wait for it to come down. 2 outs.
Now down in the shortstop, number 5.
There's Captain Kutch. I think Pirates fans probably a little frustrated with how the offseason went. Thought there might have been an opportunity to have Andrew McCutcheon back in the yellow and black. But instead, Andrew McCutcheon said, look, I know I've still got a lot to give. I feel like I've got something left in the tank. And I want to keep playing ball. And the Texas Rangers said, well, why don't you come on over, sir? We'd love to have you.
Yeah, 39 years old, valuable in terms of the platoon, valuable with the knowledge that he brings along as well. 1-1 here for Jacob Wilson. First inning for the A's. It's been a bit of a struggle offensively. Seen a team hitting just 132 in the first inning this year. They have yet to score a first inning run. See Max Muncy back in the lineup, left the game yesterday after being hit by a pitch. They're going to check down, and it is a strike. And Jimenez called it on Jacob Wilson.
Take a peek from the side. Yeah, fair to say.
Good to hear the x-rays for Muncy's hand negative. Hand contusion, and right back in the lineup along with Tyler Soderstrom. Muncy and Sodi, the only A's to play in every single game so far this season. I'm guessing the hand pad will be back and present.
Possible. There it is. Merely a flesh wound.
Initially stayed in the game and then ultimately went in to get the x-rays. This is shot towards right, but foul in the stands.
Go back to last night. Waldy trying to crowd the right-hander. Fastball just kept riding in. Muncy with nowhere to go.
And the 2-2, a swinging bunt. The catcher's going to play it. Jansen to first, 3 up, 3 down. We'll move to the second inning. Rangers 1-0.
Google Cloud, hit the gas, we're going through a tunnel. Jeffrey Springs, forcing fastball, changeup, slider, sweeper, cutter, and we talked a lot about Nathan Eovaldi last night and how difficult it can be to pick up that good fastball and that split finger and tell the difference between the two. I think it can be a similar issue when facing Jeffrey Springs. And something that both of those individuals do very well is they maintain great arm speed. And that's one of the biggest selling points in your arsenal. You don't give a hitter anything to pick up on or tell the difference with. And arm speed is one of the main things because these hitters are so good, Jenny, and so elite at picking out the littlest, smallest details that are different and making an adjustment.
This guy, Andrew McCutcheon's faced a lot of pitchers over the course of his career.
There's a lot of dirt under those spikes, no doubt. And if you're bored at home, or maybe you're a Pirates fan tuning into your favorite American League team tonight, the Athletics, you just go look at where he sits on some of the Pirates all-time lists, and he is right near the top, at the top in a lot of them.
A lot of accolades for McCutcheon. Look at being a Roberto Clemente Award winner back in 2015. I assume, I don't want to jump to this conclusion, but I assume that's probably the award that means the most to him. Man of service with his platform. Close pitch, 3-2.
Well, and I think that's the key. Is it's not just been what he's been able to do on the baseball field, but how he has leveraged that in the community across the sport. Other young players reaching out.
Payoff pitch on the ground. Jacob Wilson on the ground himself. He'll make the throw. McCutcheon dives and the out. Great job by the shortstop.
Jacob Wilson has worked incessantly and meticulously on his first step, and you can see just a great movement by Jay Willie. What I want you to take away from this, folks, is watch how he pops up. He doesn't try to fully get to his feet here. He understands that he's going to have to spin and get rid of this baseball quickly, and he's going to go to the ground right after he lets it go. But from that angle, to be able to put that kind of sauce on that baseball, I mean, there's a handful of guys in the league who can make that play. And I think Andrew McCutcheon, the reason he trips, I mean, just take a look at this. Up at him, sling it from underhand slot, basically. And McCutcheon, who's watching that unfold on the way down the line, was probably taken aback by what he had just seen. You lose your footing, ends up tripping over first base. Hope the captain's okay, but my goodness, Jacob Wilson, what an effort. And I mean, watch what I'm talking about. There's Kutch. He's taking a peek like, hold on, did he really get to that? Hold on, is he really making that throw? What? Kutch said, I must be tripping. No way he made that play.
That's what it looked like.
And look, I'll be honest. Last year, I don't know that Jacob Wilson necessarily gets to this baseball.
3-2's the count for the catcher, Danny Jansen. I think it's a great point, Dallas. I mean, you look back to talk so much about Nick Kurtz, the work he's put in the offseason. Jacob very much in that same camp. And just talk about experience and putting yourself in a position to make some pretty hard plays. There's a strikeout for Jeffrey Springs. Danny Jansen to go down on the four-seamer.
Springy just elevating the heater here, and I think he's one pitch ahead in the at-bat against Jansen, who may have been sitting on something soft, and that might be an adjustment we see Jeffrey Springs make here early on.
First pitch to Ezekiel Duran.
it might be more of a backwards approach from the left-hander. Some soft stuff early, and then doubling up, maybe even tripling up on fastballs later once he's ahead.
Well, the game plan the last 2 outings for him has worked. It's been able to get him deep into a game. It was 6 innings in his second start, 7 innings in that game against the Yankees. You can game plan it like you're talking about, Dallas, and get through the order a couple different times. It helps a ton. Two and two. Duran yesterday went 1 for 3. He had a walk. He also stole a base. Texas offense had 11 hits for their 8 runs. Timeout from Duran. Dallas highlighted how good Nathan Eovaldi was in the game to start off this series for the Rangers.
Well, look, it's not like we don't know that Jacob Wilson has the makings of becoming a great shortstop in this league. Last year, deep in the hole, springy on the bump. A lot of love for the glovesmith. And I think the play you just saw today, ranging to the glove side, that play there, ranging to the backhand side, the common denominator is the arm.
Misses on Duran, and it'll extend the inning back to the top of the order. Second walk allowed for Springs.
How about this? I'd say it's clean as a whistle. Longest errorless streak by an A's shortstop, 55 games for the young shortstop right now. Walt Weiss, former Rookie of the Year. Mike Bordick. Our old friend Marcus Semien.
Nimble led things off with a double in the first. That snapped an 0 for 37 streak that the Rangers had against left-handed pitching. I'll check over at first. Pair hits and a pair of walks, first time through the order for Springs. He allowed. When you think about it, though, Dallas, you're highlighting the great defense, obviously, of Jacob Wilson. The addition of the veteran and Jeff McNeil, solid up the middle. The improvement of Kurtz on the corner. And obviously, Muncy earning a job with his offense and his continued work as Duran takes off. Throw down from Wins. The tag applied. And Duran got in there for his second stolen base of the year, second of the series.
I think they're going to keep it rolling. They thought about taking a peek. That's a pretty good head start there from Duran. As soon as he saw that leg go up from Jeffrey Springs, he was off to the races. And even with that strong throw from Austin Wins, just couldn't quite close the gap in time. Now the Rangers with a runner in scoring position.
Oh, ahead 3-0. Here's the pitch. He swings at it on the ground, and Jacob Wilson will field it on the right side of second base. Jacob getting some work done in the infield here. A's fans win the ultimate Vegas getaway at the end of every A's homestand during the 2026 season, brought to you by Circa Resort and Casino. Tyler Soderstrom leading off the Athletics here in the second. They trail 1-0. Rangers scored in the first. Soderstrom, Muncy, and Austin Wins due up against Mackenzie Gore. Gore from Wilmington, North Carolina. Posing another lefty, also from North Carolina. Of course, Jeffrey Springs from Belmont. And a 3-0 count for Soderstrom.
Yeah, Mackenzie Gore, one of those fellas with a bit of a slow southern draw to him, but about as competitive as it comes, and there's a lot of intrinsic motivation from Mackenzie Gore, a guy who the fire burns hot inside. He might not come across that way publicly.
Tyler Soderstrom will take a walk. First base runner here for the Athletics with Max Muncy coming up.
Well, we told you there was a lot of swing and miss that comes along with Mackenzie Gore. How about this list? Most strikeouts, your first 3 games in a Ranger uniform. Jacob deGrom, good player. Max Scherzer, pretty good player. Ever heard of Nolan Ryan? How about Cole Hamels? All pretty good players.
There is a Hall of Famer on there, and then you spy some future Hall of Famers on there.
Yes, you do. And to the whole, you know, being internally motivated, there's some guys on that list that have a pretty good fire burning inside in their own right.
This is a guy that was thought pretty highly of very early in his amateur career. Swing and a miss for Muncy on the changeup. Ends up being a first-round pick out of high school, 3rd pick overall from the San Diego Padres. That was back in 2017. Made his debut with San Diego, ended up being traded to Washington in the Juan Soto deal.
That's right.
So if you can imagine, you're going, okay, I got a lot to prove. He proves a lot with some of his pitches, including the curveball.
Well, StatCast powered by Google Cloud. He's got 10 punch-outs on that curveball so far this season. Told you it's one of the 6 that has a 25% or higher whiff rate. So that's just from a pure swing and miss standpoint. And because he's got that 96-mile-an-hour fastball that plays up in the zone, he drops that curveball, which changes eye levels. Tough to get a good swing off on.
Tried to get Muncy to either chase it or get it in the zone. It wasn't. Here's a ground ball to short. Seager will feed Duran at second and off to first. Runner erased on the double play. 2 gone with Austin Wins coming up. So Gore got to Washington. Things were rolling well. Of course, we know what Washington's been through the last couple of years. A lot of retooling themselves. Texas this offseason wanting to improve their pitching and try and get creative. I mean, I'm not going to put the financial handcuffs on Chris Young, but it felt like they were trying to spend a little less money than they had in the past. Of course, they won a World Series a couple years ago. They make it to the postseason the last 2 years, trying to get back, but maybe do it more creatively. And that's where this trade came up with the Nationals to get Mackenzie Gore. Cost a pretty penny, too, in terms of your farm system. Yeah. 5 prospects. There's a liner, but foul.
And I'm not telling you that we're seeing a shift away from, you know, spending literal dollars and spending prospects instead. Let's see, this is coming in hot. Oh my God!
From defense mode to finding mode.
That's gonna leave a bruise.
It might. There's the 1-2 to Wins. And this will be in play. A shallow fly ball into the grass. Goes Duran for the catch. We'll move on to the 3rd.
Welcome back. It's a beautiful night here in West Sacramento. Time now for Wire Cam, brought to you by Defy. It's the MVP year in and year out. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. Just gave me a great shot of the Austin Wins throw down to second base. I see you, wire cam. And wire cam sees you.
Wyatt Langford sees a strike from Jeffrey Springs to lead off the third. I don't know if you didn't sleep last night because there were two lefties on the mound today in the starting pitching matchup, or to see wire cam again. Here's Jacob Wilson with another try. That'll be one out.
Well, we're getting some great looks. And Jenny, one of the things that you can do as an infielder to work on your first step is start getting good at reading swings and reading scouting reports. And I mean, that right there is as good of an effort. And I think that's a beautiful combination of the work that's been put in and the information being applied. Because what you could see there with Jacob Wilson's first step was just that slight opening of that right foot. And where did he have to go for the baseball? To his right.
To left, shallow, going back is Muncy's traveling a long way, and Muncy makes a nice catch. What range from the third baseman.
Gobble it up, Munch. That a bag.
Now batting the first baseman, number 21, Jake Berger.
Look, off the bat, you're not sure if this is going to be a fair ball, foul ball, doesn't matter. Don't umpire. Get on your horse and ride. Got him. Looked like that may have been trouble should it have found grass. Instead, it finds leather. Max Muncy says, I got it. You're out.
That was in fair territory. He had a couple opportunities in foul territory that he wasn't able to get to on the road. And so you talk about Jacob Wilson and the work he's putting in and the day-to-day work, I think, too, that we just see from Max Muncy, right? If you can't make a certain play, I'm sure you go back to the lab and figure out how you're going to get that done. That was a nice read from Muncy and a great catch. 0-1 to Berger on the ground. This time Jeff McNeil is going to get involved, and Jeffrey Springs let the defense work. That's a good game plan. Time for the bats to go in the third. Bench your mobile provider for better coverage and bigger savings with Xfinity Mobile and get Wi-Fi Plus 5G with that won't strike out. Xfinity, imagine that. Got some cuties at the game tonight. Taking in a ball game on a great spring evening. Looking for the offense to get going. Tough to do against Mackenzie Gore, but Zach Geloff will lead the charge here in the third. Geloff, Jeff McNeil, Denzel Clark.
I would race him for his churro right now.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah, he is dialed. He is choked up on that thing.
He's not letting that go for anybody.
Oh, that thing doesn't stand a chance.
Geloff with a swing and a miss, 1-2. Zach recalled from AAA last week with the injury to Brent Rooker and his oblique. Zach was having a nice offensive season for the Las Vegas club through 11 games, 5 for 41, 4 homers, a couple doubles, drove in 10. Saw him walk a lot too, 13 walks, a couple stolen bases. And strike 3. Zach got in yesterday off the bench and struck out, and here in the start does the same. First out, that'll bring up Jeff McNeil. Straight Talk Stats presented by Verizon Wireless. The last 10 games for the newest day, that's been fantastic. A .378 batting average. He has the 5th best batting average in April in all of baseball. 14 hits in the 37 at bats. There's been some doubles in there as well. He's driven in some runs and scored some runs. He has been in the mix of this offense. And really a catalyst, I think, Dallas, where he's sitting tonight. He's kind of floated all over, but in the 8-hole, we talked about a lot of offense developing. It had to do when he was at the bottom of the order.
Well, he's been great defensively. He's been even better against Mackenzie Gore specifically.
Those are really good numbers. This one back to Gore. He'll field his position. Underhanding it to Berger, 2 gone.
Both left-handers right now just garnering a lot of weak contact. I mean, this is in the kitchen of Jeff McNeil. But the thing about having a guy like Jeff McNeil, not only because of what he brings to the table from a veteran perspective, but He just wants to play ball. He knows he can hit. He knows what he brings to the table. Wherever you need to plug him into the lineup, he's more than happy to go.
Here's Denzel Clark, and he doesn't waste any time. Shoots it into right field, and Denzel's going for two. Throw coming in, Denzel slides a double with 2 outs. That has to feel good for the A's 9-hole hitter.
Denzel said, you know what, I don't need to wait around for the curveball nor the changeup. You're going to give me a heater center cut. I'm hacking. And Denzel, look, I can watch highlights of Denzel Clark make ridiculous catches all day long. I might want to watch Denzel Clark run the bases even more. I mean, it looks just so effortless the way he floats around the pillows.
Those track jeans he got from his mom. He can fly. Here's Langoliers, and he'll take a pitch out of the zone, 1-0. Shea with a 5-game hit streak. Had a pair of knocks yesterday in the opener against the Rangers. Shea's leading off for the 18th time in his career, 2nd time this season. Good numbers when he hits first. 3-0. 316 is the batting average. 5 career home runs in the leadoff spot. And 13 RBI. Get him the opportunity to hit as many times as he can against the Rangers, a team he's been very successful with Nick Kurtz on deck. So get a righty to start the game. Or he'll step off. Denzel's been dancing out at second with the lead. Shea will take the pitch and walk down to first. First and second for Kurtz.
Hey, Shea, you're hitting leadoff. No problem. Pumped one out of the ballpark to get the party started. So there is some familiarity here, and look, whether it's a limited amount of at-bats or a career's worth of at-bats, from a pitcher perspective, you know who's gotten good swings off on you. And hitters, Jenny, they have this thing called a book. And when they put you in the book, they don't ever forget that chapter either. And this is a great example traffic can do for you. I mean, Mackenzie Gore rolling, right? I mean, last inning, walked Soderstrom to lead things off, but then quickly got a double play. And here after the 2-out double from Denzel, you can see that attention avert. They're going to talk about it right now, he and Danny Jansen. This meeting on the mound is brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price. But the minute you start getting guys on base, things change, the rhythm changes.
Numbers for the A's tell it all too. 281 is the batting average with runners in scoring position. 5th in the AL here this year. He's been able to walk a lot. Also the strikeout has been in his game. Just the 1 home run so far for Kurtz. Look at the last 2 games. That 1 home run was all the offense that the A's have gotten. Of course, Lawrence added a home run last night, but 9 hits for 2 runs. And a walk here. Back-to-back walks. That's 3 total for Mackenzie Gore in this game. He came into the game with just 5 walks through 3 starts, and that's going to bring out the pitching coach to have a conversation Jordan Teague's coming out, and this meeting on the mound is brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price. So as Kurt's 16th walk loads the bases for Jacob Wilson. Now, let's get a word from Smud.
SMUD's Clean Power City movement is happening. Hundreds of thousands are taking action, driving electric, making clean power choices, and saving money with SMUD rebates. Together, we're changing the world. For 99 ways to join the charge, visit cleanpowercity.org.
Bottom of the third, bases loaded, 2 outs. Jenny Kavanaugh with Dallas Braden. And the A's threatening here in the third. They trail the Rangers 1-0. Jacob Wilson coming up. Denzel Clark got the party started with 2 outs. A double. Opposite field double for him. He's on third, Langoliers at second, and Kurtz at first. The 0-1 from Gore missing inside, to leaving the count at 1. Here's the pitch, and it's through. The tying run in, and Denzel Clark, Jacob Wilson with a 2 RBI single as Shea Langoliers follows. A 2-1 lead for the Athletics.
Jay Willie coming up big. We've already seen him flash the leather early in this ball game. And here with the bags juice, Jacob Wilson able to come through. Just a great job of Jacob Wilson. See where his head's at, right at the point of contact. Stays on the baseball the entire time. The speedy Langoliers able to come around and score.
Brings up Tyler Soderstrom with 2 outs and 2 on. Here's the pitch from Gore, and it misses high. We're seeing Gore fall behind in a bunch of the counts here this inning. Love a good 2-out rally. The A's getting behind it, building traffic, and for Jacob Wilson coming through, that snapped an 0-for-8 streak for him. So great to get the hit, great to add 2 RBI. He now has 5 on the season. Soderstrom walked in the second. Now a very favorable count, 3-0.
I think it was game 2 against the Mets. A's put together a nice 2-out rally. That was in the 8th inning. Things broke open.
Soderstrom taking all the way, 3-1. Sodi 6 for 15 with runners in scoring position. The month of April has 12 runs batted in as well. Here's the pitch. It'll now be a full count on the foul ball.
Well, I think Tyler Soderstrom, should he get a fastball right now, Jenny?
Look out.
I think it could be loud noise.
Timeout called. So he had 2 loud noises on the road trip in the same game. The leader for the A's when it comes to RBI. See if he can add. Here's the 3-2, runners in motion, and that's chopped foul down the first base line.
Yeah, Mackenzie Gore opting to put a little wrinkle in it, and that may have been the thought process. Should Sodi find a gap? Jacob Wilson off to the races here, 3-2. Good chance it could do some damage.
Here's the payoff pitch. This one's chopped. Wilson avoids it, but Duran able to make the final out. 2 left on, 2 did score. Jacob Wilson driving him home, and the A's in the driver's seat, 2-1.
Fans, I got to tell you, this is awesome. Tonight marks the start of our Foster Furlough program here at the ballpark in partnership with the Sacramento SPCA. Every Tuesday home game, you can come on out to the ballpark, and there will be 2 dogs here in the ballpark an hour before the game, and they will be dogs that the team has already paid the adoption fees for. And what we will have is an opportunity for these fans to come out and see these dogs, greet these dogs, play with these dogs, and obviously pet these dogs.
That's
Can I pet
awesome.
that dog? Can I pet that dog?
We got to get down there.
I want to pet that
I'm
dog.
also afraid that you are going to go home with some new animals this year. So if your wife is watching Meg, I'm doing my best here. Doing my best.
Yeah, I might be calling the game from the berm, which is where those dogs are going to be located. So get to the ballpark an hour before the game. You can come out and meet what could be potentially the newest member of your family.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's wonderful.
2-2 is the count for Sam Haggerty.
You know what? And I'm on the record right now. Should we need to get a 3rd dog involved because it's so successful, I myself will cover the adoption fees for a 3rd dog. So if we get a 3rd dog out there, I got the adoption fees covered. Come on out and find a new furry friend.
Well, Jeffrey Springs has the first out covered. He pulled Sam Haggerty, 2nd strikeout.
I mean, that's just challenging. And that was back to the point I made earlier in the ball game about these hitters probably sitting soft here late, and Jeffrey Springs deciding to finish the at-bats with some hard stuff. And that's exactly what happened. It's 90 miles an hour, essentially middle, and Haggerty looking for something quite a bit slower and maybe in a different spot.
Josh Young is up now. Lined out to Jacob Wilson. That was back in the 1st inning. Ended that inning. That was the threat of the Texas Rangers. Brandon Nimmo led it off with a double, and they also drove in a run with 2 outs. Once again, it was Jake Berger responsible for driving a run in. 1-1's the count. Young and Springs have a little history. Young came into the game 4 for 9 with a homer. Wins is going to come out after the high pitch.
Well, the left-hander called Austin Wins out. And they're going to talk about it. This meeting on the mound brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price. And I think the idea is here, and this is, Jeffrey Springs is just so aware of what each and every pitch means in an at-bat to the hitter. And that fastball, probably not what we would categorize as a competitive pitch. Not sure that it did much. And I think Springy, we'll see what he wants to do here. Yep.
Strike 3. That's going to be a challenge for Josh Young.
Well, and I think Young Money here may have an argument. This pitch, yeah, whatever.
1.4 inches. I think he knew the zone. So the Rangers win their first challenge of the game, and the challenge, the ABS challenge, powered by T-Mobile.
But I think what Springs wanted to do there, Jenny, is exactly what we saw him do, and that's back that fastball that was elevated up with another fastball. With the hitter thinking he might try to go something softer. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think we have a mic issue for Gabe Morales, so he's trying to get that all situated. We get our TV crew on that, you know. They're pretty good at that stuff.
That was a literal mic drop. Oh, we're just putting the ball back. Keep it moving.
You would have mic dropped this inning. You're going to pay some adoption fees for a pet.
Yeah.
I'm going to take you up on that, maybe. 2-2. And now a full count. And the payoff pitch chopped to short. And Jacob over to Kurtz. 2 gone. Andrew McCutcheon coming up now for the Rangers. I count 5 ground balls Jacob Wilson's way, plus he had the line out. Getting your work in today at shortstop.
Sure is.
McCutcheon with just his 3rd start in the last 14 games today. High in the air, deep to center field. Denzel Clark going back at the wall. Denzel with a catch!
Oh, stop it.
Added to the highlight reel, Denzel Clark.
I mean, this is just old hat. It's expected. Denzel, bring it on back.
Denzel does it again. You have to see it to believe it at this point. It feels like it's each and every week.
Oh, I believe. I've been a believer. Denzel just timing it up. It's as smooth and as effortless as it gets. I mean, just an incredible job of tracking the baseball all the way back to the wall. And look, I don't want to be a wet blanket here. I'm not quite sure that that ball was leaving the yard, but that was extra bases, bare minimum. But what's funny, Jenny, is we were talking to the TV crew for the Texas Rangers before the ball game, and the great Dave Raymond said, "You know what I want to see? You know what I want to see?" And he goes, and I sound a little dirty saying it because, you know, it's against my team, but I would love to see a Denzel robbery. And here in our booth, we have the poster of the catch that he made in Anaheim.
The MLB catch of the year in 2025.
And Dave just looked at the poster and was like, yeah. Yeah.
I was leading you to the story by saying you have to see it to believe it, because Dave Raymond, the prime example. You want to see it in person. It almost feels like the highlight reels don't do it justice anymore.
No, and I mean, look, and Dave was just treated to an incredible defensive effort by their right fielder, or excuse me, the right fielder in Anaheim, Joe Adell, and that conversation came up, and we were talking about that as Max Muncy able to work the leadoff walk. And that was a conversation we were having, but this is the catch that brought home the hardware. I mean, just a silly athletic effort from Denzel. Yeah, Shawnoel in disbelief. He may be nobody in green and gold in disbelief. But it was great because we both knew after the inning, we knew we were going to get a visit. And I just kind of turned around and stood up.
You had your arms open?
Opened my arms, and the door flew open. And I'm not going to say that there may have been a tear shed from the eye of Dave Raymond, but
how to witness it, though. It's unbelievable to watch the athleticism, the skill set, the timing. And Dallas, you've been highlighting defense all night long. You've been highlighting the infield defense and the work, the pre-preparation work, the first step work. I mean, you could put Denzel out somewhere blind, and I feel like if you put a blindfold on him, he'd still be able to find a way to make the catch the way he hears the ball off the bat, the way he knows his footing and knows his spacing and knows his timing. But man, the work that goes into it, to time something out, to jump at the exact right time, to have your glove there. I mean, that's a lot of different steps in just a few seconds.
Well, it's
another walk here.
It's body awareness, but it's spatial awareness. And you're going to watch Denzel right there. Take a peek, take another peek. And I'll remind folks, this is the biggest warning track in baseball right now. This is the biggest warning track that any one of these big leaguers or these big league outfielders is going to deal with. And so think about what it has taken for Denzel Clark to familiarize himself with this landscape.
Geloff squares around to bunt. He gets it down. We'll check over at third, the throw to first, and that was quite a hectic play as Berger had to hit the deck.
Yeah,
sacrifice complete, second and third.
There was a whole lot going on there. I mean, Mackenzie Gore, this ball bunted right back to him. May have had a play at third base, opted not to go there. May have even had a shot at second base, opted not to go there, but Berger down. 5-second rule for those who are hungry. But Mackenzie Gore ends up eventually getting it out. Duran able to cover.
So walk for Muncy, walk for Austin Wins. The sacrifice bunt for Zach Geloff, and with one out, runners on second and third. Jeff McNeil, an opportunity to eat himself, trying to get some steaks here. He's had such a great April. Really good against Mackenzie Gore, and doesn't have a hit yet tonight. Just the second time up. Ground it back to Gore in the third. That made the second out in the third, and then it was the rally from the Athletics. Denzel Clark started the rally with the double, and then he goes out and completes the shutdown inning. Bottom of the fourth with the amazing catch. Infield in here for the Rangers. Pitch outside, 2-1. Four-game hit streak going for McNeil coming into the game tonight. Numbers for him even better with runners on base, 8 for 19. Athletics up 2-1 here in the fourth. Here's the 2-2. Up the middle, the ground ball to Seager. He'll go home. The tag made. 2 gone.
Well, off on contact was Max Muncy, and you got to give credit to Corey Seager here. It's a smooth effort out there at shortstop. No wasted effort. As soon as he gloves it, it's a quick exchange to the hand, fires a strike home. Jansen does a nice job of waiting to take away the lane once he has the baseball. That's just about as well executed of an effort defensively as it gets. Let's see if Denzel can't take a little bit of that momentum from center field here with him up to the plate.
Austin Wins at third, Jeff McNeil at first. Curveball for a strike. That question being asked of Denzel Clark last year in Toronto. Would you rather hit a home run or rob a home run? Rob a hit, right? If only the robberies counted for your offensive stats, because he has taken away so many runs from other teams. It's unbelievable.
Well, Denzel right now himself, I think, doing a good job of being able to contribute on both sides of the baseball, and slowly but surely we're going to watch him continue to settle in offensively.
He'll check his swing, and he did go around. A strikeout here for Denzel Clark. That will end the threat in the fourth. 2 left on for the A's. They remain up 2-1. Let's move to the fifth.
Tonight, we're proud to recognize Paratransit Incorporated as our nonprofit partner of the game. Based in Sacramento, they provide vital transportation, mobility management, and travel training services across our entire region. Their passionate team is dedicated to improving the lives and independence of individuals facing mobility challenges. So to learn more, you can visit paratransit.org.
Danny Jansen leads it off for the Rangers in the 5th. Springs delivering a first pitch strike. Talked about Jeffrey having a spring in his step before the game for this matchup, and the way he's been pitching all season long. Hadn't allowed a run in the first inning or second inning this year. He did here tonight, and then it was just settling on in. Jansen into left field. It'll bounce in front of Soderstrom, a base hit. It's the first base runner since Ezekiel Duran walked in the second, and Duran coming back up.
Well, Danny Jansen, and this is what I was talking about when we saw Berger stay on that changeup. You know, you might see off-balance swings, but understanding who your opponent is, I think, is what you're watching with the Texas Rangers. And I think early on, you don't want to take yourself out of a power position at the plate. You want to be able to put an A swing on a pitch, especially if it's up. But should you find yourself just slightly off balance, if you can keep those hands back and in a good firing position, you still have a chance in the at-bat.
Even a miss. The changeup got Duran there, 1-2.
Well, you could see Austin Wynn shaking his head, letting Jeffrey Springs know, hey, great pitch, great spot. You may even see him double up, but that's a fastball that he can work off of there if they wanted to try to expand the strike zone.
It'll be pitch 70 coming up here for Springs. And now a full count. Booming on deck. Payoff pitch popped up. Jeff McNeil. Wait for it to come down. 1 out. Look at Jeffrey Springs 2 times through the Texas Rangers order. How do you foresee things to change here 3rd time through?
Well, that's the thing about Jeffrey Springs' game, is it's really just a matter of continuing to execute. I talked about how we might see a bit of a backwards approach early in the ball game, and I think that's what we've seen. Now the 3rd time through, it might just be a flip of the script here. But for Jeffrey Springs, because he can do that, still strikes with a pitch that he might not be necessarily looking to put you away with. It can give him an advantage in getting ahead in the count, which he's done. So I think we still might see him try to dispose of Nimmo here should he get to 2 strikes. With a good fastball. Nimmo able to lay off a very close slider there. But we've watched Springs double up with the fastball. We've now just seen him double up with the breaking balls.
the pitch, and the slider gets Noah to go around 2-2.
Yeah, and like I thought, trying to finish the at-bat with that good fastball.
All right, Langford on deck, DHing tonight after having the quad injury in Los Angeles to start the road trip for the Rangers. Kept him out the last couple of games. 3-2, right back to Springs. Springs will feed it. Wilson on to first, and the double play that Jeffrey Springs was looking for. Service champions. Well, the Texas Rangers once again tomorrow night, and then a day game on Thursday. We'll be on at 11:30 if you're coming to the ballpark. It's a 12:05 start. And then for the weekend, the White Sox come into town. That will conclude the homestand. Back on the road again next week at Seattle and at Texas. So heavy American League West portion of the schedule here in April. Shea Langeliers in the leadoff spot tonight, and he takes a called strike. It's Mackenzie Gore still working. Time to put that layer on. You just got your, what, third?
Easy.
Okay, second layer on tonight. It's a little chillier this evening. Get a hot pitcher's duel to start the game. Treated to a couple of lefties. A's able to build some offense, come from behind. They're 2-1. 0-2's the count. Here for Langeliers, he's walked, scored a run, he also had a strikeout. Such a hot start to the year for Langeliers. That road trip to begin through Toronto and Atlanta. Piled up 5 home runs, drove in 8. Here's a swing and a miss. Cooled off just a bit for the last couple weeks.
Well, Gore gets him to just wave at the elevation there. Elevated changeup that Gore got away with.
First pitch to Kurtzen for a strike. So you're seeing Mackenzie Gore come back and attack, his 3rd time through this A's order. Last 2 innings. So a few more first pitch balls. On the ground and through. Nick Kurtz with a base hit.
Well, Kurtz hits the ball as hard as anybody in baseball. And he gets a fastball middle. And this ball 111 off the bat of Nick Kurtz. That's going to find a hole, and if it doesn't, it's going to create one. Yep, no chance. You could pinch him up the middle all you want.
Another first pitch strike for Mackenzie Gore, this time to Jacob Wilson. Wilson, the offensive hero of the day so far. Single scored 2 runs in the 3rd. Gave the A's a 1-run advantage, but he's also been doing some work in the field.
Well, take you back, 3rd inning. Bags juice, 2 outs. You need it to create a little momentum for yourself. Jacob Wilson able to pick up 2 RBIs. Oh, what a play.
Yeah, nice play off the net. Use the elements, you know. These kids are stoked. It's going to bounce away from the catcher, Jansen, but Kurtz sitting on first. Looking at some numbers today. You know who the stolen base leader is, by the way, for the Athletics?
Talk to me.
It's your man at first base
That's
right now.
Nick Kurtz.
A's have stolen 9 bases as a team. Nick Kurtz with 2 of them. Here's the 1-2, and Jacob Wilson with a rare strikeout. That is his 10th of the season after having just 39 all last year. 2 outs.
Well, and I think you see where this is pitched. It's 95. It's up and away, and I think Jacob Wilson, again, who's done such a fine job since getting to the big leagues in shooting the ball the other way, probably saw a pitch out of the hand that he felt like he could handle and just kind of poke through that hole over there with Berger holding on Kurtz.
Soderstrom up for the 3rd time. 0 for 1 with the walk.
And I think sometimes that's where hitters can fall victim to their skill set, meaning Jacob is a wizard with the wand. I mean, he can essentially put the bat on the ball at will, it feels like.
1-1, and some action happening now for the Rangers bullpen. You see the veteran Chris Martin getting to work. He's been around so long, I think you two were in the league at the same time.
Fact. Well, that was pitch number 89, pitch number 90 on its way. And that would be the high water mark in pitch count on the season for Mackenzie Gore. And that was his opening start of the season, which came against the Phillies.
Yeah, he only went 5 1/3 in that game. His longest outing was 6 innings. In the air and to the seats foul.
Well, even with just 2 runs posted right now, still a bit of a battle when you consider that he has walked as many batters tonight as he had in those 3 starts combined.
Yeah, he'd only allowed 15 base runners through those first starts. Tonight, 9 base runners. Walk's a big part of that.
And I think the Athletics, and frankly both teams, would be excited to see a right-handed pitcher.
They'll check down. Tyler didn't go around.
I mentioned the Rangers hitting 194 against left-handers. The Athletics 190. He hit the brakes. Both teams with just 3 homers against left-handers coming into tonight's ball game.
To take off on the pitch. 2 outs and the full count. Here it is. Lifted in the air. Fly ball out towards left, and foul once again to the stands. That took a nice bounce.
And Jenny, how about this? I mentioned just 3 homers aside against left-handers. 8 walks for the Rangers, 10 walks for the A's. A .242 on base percentage for the Athletics against lefties. .239 on base percentage for the Texas Rangers. I mean, numbers almost mirroring each other.
Yeah, so similar. Here's the payoff pitch once again, and a walk for Tyler Soderstrom. Add another base runner for Mackenzie Gore's night, and another walk. 1st and 2nd with 2 outs, and Max Muncy coming up.
Well, and I just saw Skip Schumacher tell Danny Jansen, go out and talk to him a bit. And maybe it's just to buy a little bit more time here. I think Skip Schumacher may be debating on whether or not to make the call.
To your point, that's the debate, right? You just talked how both offenses would probably love to see a right-handed pitcher.
Well, and I'm going to tell you right now, if Max Muncy gets to take this at bat, which it looked like he will, I think Max Muncy very well may be able to get to a pitch here from Mackenzie Gore. And I don't think he's going to get the opportunity. Skip Schumacher starting to creep towards that top step, and here he comes. Yep.
So it looks like Mackenzie Gore not able to get through 5 here tonight. Shortest outing of the year with the highest pitch count. So the bullpen the rest of the way, a 2-1 lead for the Athletics. Baseball is brought to you by Downtown Subaru of Oakland, home of pure pricing. Whether it's online or in person, with Pure Price, it's a win-win situation. Visit SubaruofOakland.com.
A's fans, get ready for the cutest night of the year. On Friday, May 1st, you can join us right here at Sutter Health Park as the A's take on the Cleveland Guardians. Be one of the first fans through the gates to snag your exclusive Hello Kitty A's souvenir. It's a must-have for every fan looking to add some super cute flair to their A's collection. Lock in your seat right now at athletics.com/tickets. We're going to have to beat Chris Carey away from the gate. He's going to be there early.
I think he's already taken both of our Hello Kitty giveaways.
Dibs.
Forget your 3 girls and my 1 little girl. They're out. Chris Carey all over it. Mackenzie Gore just 4 2/3. The 3 hits, 2 runs, are responsible for the 2 on. Nick Kurtz at second, Tyler Soderstrom at first, and Chris Martin in relief now. A pitch out of the zone to Max Muncy.
And you called it, the veteran Chris Martin, 8th appearance of the season for Skip Schumacher and the Texas Rangers. In a little bit of a spot here right now. He's got 2 on, 2 out, and a 2-0 count. With Max Muncy, who can hit the ball just about as hard as anybody. And I know I said that about Nick Kurtz. That's a fact, but Max Muncy.
Late swing for Muncy, 2-1.
Has done a nice job of finding the barrel here in the early go of the season. Little cut there from Martin. Max hitting 273 with runners in scoring position.
Fly ball out to right. Brandon Nimmo going towards the line. And it's a foul ball. Runners will reset here. 2-2 for Max. 2-out rally in the 3rd. The A's were trailing 1-0 when they were able to get some offense going. Denzel Clark started it with a double, a pair of walks, and then Jacob Wilson driving in the runs. All happened against Mackenzie Gore. Got deep into some counts. That's where the left-hander for the Rangers got into some trouble. 1 for 4 the A's tonight with the runner in scoring position. Big opportunity here for Muncy. A swing and a miss. Chris Martin comes in and gets the job done. He'll strike out Muncy, leaving 2 stranded. Through 5, it's 2-1 A's. The 2026 All-Star Teacher Award presented by Provident Credit Union. Go to NBCSportsCalifornia.com/AST to check out Matt Hoffman of Redwood Continuation High School in Castro Valley, as well as other finalists, and vote for your All-Star Teacher. The grand prize winning teacher school receive $30,000. Vote now. Jeffrey Springs back to it against the DH Wyatt Langford. An 0-1 count. Jeffrey's been very efficient once again. Langford, Seager, and Berger do up in the 6th.
Robert Garcia for the Texas Rangers starting to move around.
Challenge from Austin Wins.
Catcher challenge the ball.
Yep. Hee-haw.
Austin Wins successfully.
The Athletics have 2 challenges.
The ABS challenge.
Now batting the shortstop, number 5, Corey Seager.
Well, you can see where Wins is set up, and it's simply just because this baseball cuts all the way across. And this is one of the things that I love about the ABS, Jenny, and there's a lot to like, maybe not so much to like.
A fly ball out to left. Soderstrom will wait for it. And the catch.
But I have long thought that strikes are strikes, regardless of how they're received. It's all about if and when they cross the plate. And that pitch right there is a pitch that, since we've been playing this game, should be called a strike. Just because it doesn't look good because the spot was missed. These guys out there on the mound, they got 17 inches to work with. That's what you got. And just because you don't put it exactly where you want to, guess what? We're human. I mean, that's what I'm hearing about the umpires, right? So if we're going to give those guys, there's a ball out in
center field, yeah,
ball in center field. But if we're going to give those guys behind the plate grace, which they deserve, is that not deserved for the guys on the mound as well? So again, just because I end up cutting a baseball and it ends up on the other side of the plate, but if I'm able to clip one of those 17 inches worth of plate, I'm going to need it to be a strike.
And any portion of the ball, right? We've seen it where it's just by a fingernail, a teeny tiny portion in there, and it's a strike. The A's have been very good at challenges so far this year as well. Came into the game at 59% of winning their challenges. That's 4th best in baseball. Catchers are right in the middle of that.
How about this? I got a fun fact for you.
Give it to me.
Pitchers with the most unchallenged in-zone balls. So pitches that have been called balls that were actually in the zone. Jeffrey Springs coming into tonight, 10. Jacob Lopez, 9. Luis Severino, 9.
Wow. Swing and a miss. Jeffrey Springs gets the strikeout of Jake Berger, and that won the top of the 6th. Austin Wins coming up.
Copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Athletics.
Well, Bobby Bones, Bobby Crosby, out there at third base as the third base coach, but on this date in 2004, it was the rookie Bobby Crosby that hit his first career home run off the Rangers' R.A. Dickey. And he would go on to hit what would end up being his career high with 22 home runs, win AL Rookie of the Year.
Do it, Bones.
Of course, Jacob Wilson with his best effort to try and get another shortstop for the Athletics to win Rookie of the Year. His teammate had other ideas. A ground ball up the middle, and Austin Wins will be retired by Ezekiel Duran.
Well, Skip Schumacher used Chris Martin to get out of that spot. And right back to the lefty he goes. It's Robert Garcia this time around, making his 8th appearance as well. ERA 4.5. There's been some traffic for Robert Garcia. The whip nearing 2.
0-1 for Geloff. Robert Garcia, and you have a lot in common. You're not just lefties, Dallas. You're from the 209.
That's right.
Tika product on the bump. To college at UC Davis. Swing and a miss for Geloff. I think Garcia checked off all the baseball fields around Manteca. Have you been to all of them?
I mean, there's quite a few of them. They keep popping up.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Where do I get one of them hats?
Probably venture down there. I have some extras. Geloff with a swing and a miss. 2 gone.
Garcia just coming right after Zach Geloff. Fastball top rail.
That'll bring up Jeff McNeil. Hit 8th tonight, 0 for 2, a swing and a miss. Or excuse me, foul tip. McNeil with the ground ball to second. Will be backhanded by Duran. 3 up, 3 down here in the 6th. We'll move to the 7th. A's up by 1.
big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, we've got the whole season covered. Visit MLBshop.com/athletics, the official source for your athletics gear.
Party's popping, chains are popping in the stands here tonight. Sam Haggerty will foul off the first offering from Jeffrey Springs, who continues to work here in the top of the 7th. Springs got through 7 in his last outing against the New York Yankees. And Lawrence Butler in the game now for Zach Geloff, who started the game in right field.
Mark Kotze maybe just shoring things up with some regular defenders out there with Lawrence Butler. That was a nasty changeup. I mean, look at that thing just dive away. Goodness.
1-2, and why not right back to it? Another strikeout for Jeffrey Springs. Does it on the changeup.
That's assault, brother. My word. Haggerty nowhere near the vicinity of this change piece. Jeffrey Springs gonna have a little chit chat with the skipper. How you feeling, left-hander? You feeling good? Yeah, I feel good, but you know what? I feel pretty good about what the boys in the bullpen are capable of as well. Mark Kotze gonna make the move.
Bring the fans to their feet here.
This powerful performance is brought to you by Xfinity. Have yourself a night, and you want to talk about executing a game plan. Jeffrey Springs was fantastic. Just a couple walks under the belt of the left-hander. He was able to navigate limited traffic, just 3 hits allowed. Punched out 5, pitched into the 7th. Just watched him wipe out Sam Haggerty on a couple changeups that Haggerty had no shot on. And I think that's something to note, is the stuff was as good as it was when he first entered the ball game. And speaking of entering the ball game, they're going to hand it over to Justin Sterner. Sterner represents, I think, a portion of this bullpen that has performed well. I think we've seen some great performances up and down this entire bullpen.
Ground ball, and it's going to get past Muncy down into left field for Josh Young. He's going for extra bases. It'll be a double with 1 out in the 7th. Sterner will have to work through this traffic to help out his starter in Springs and the excellent night he had.
Well, it looks like a cutter that may have just kind of backed up. Didn't really do much, and Josh Young able to open up and pull this thing down the line, keep it fair.
That gives the Rangers their 4th hit of the night. And it brings up Andrew McCutcheon. He's had a couple of hits taken away from him by the A's defense. Jacob Wilson made a nice play in the 2nd, and then it was Denzel Clark. Robin hit away from McCutcheon with another spectacular catch in the 4th. 1-1. I think 2 for Jeffrey Springs tonight. Dallas, you talked about that pitch mix and how important it was as we see the left-hander, lone left-hander down in the bullpen, Hogan Harris, warming up. Got the defense to work with it, right? Soft contact. Some difficult plays for the defense, but 8 total ground ball outs as we see an ABS challenge. Austin Wins has been correct once here tonight.
I think he's going to have another argument as well. Yep.
Austin Wins all over the zone.
Athletics have 2 challenges remaining.
Makes the count 1-2 here for McCutcheon. That's 3 straight challenges from Austin Wins dating back to last night when he came in the game. All 3 correct. A swing and a miss from McCutcheon.
That's a well-executed sequence there from Justin Sterner. And you can see the awkward swing there from McCutcheon. And when the profile for Justin Sterner is what it is, you can expect some spin away from you as a right-hander, whether it's of the shorter cutter variety or maybe just a bit bigger with that slider that he throws. When he's able to sneak that fastball by you, it's because he's put it in a great spot and it just jumps on you. And everything visually starts to look like it's almost working its way back towards you, and it's because everything you've seen is working away from you.
One and one here for Jansen. More bullpen action for the Rangers. Cole Winn warming up. And you figured too, when you see an opponent in a 4-game set, you're probably going to face just about everyone down in the pen at some point. But now you kind of elongate that out. You're within the division. You're going to the Rangers next week to face them. So there's a little bit of a cat and mouse game too, I think, between these two squads and their managers as well in terms of how to deploy your bullpen. Two and two.
Well, we've talked about the success of left-handed pitchers against both of these clubs. And should we see another left-hander at some point tonight for the Texas Rangers? I know Mark Kotze would like to see if Steve Sachs could take it at bat.
Steve Sachs was good against the lefties. High in the air, and this is going to drift foul out in left field.
Our man they call Wes Sacramento. Saxy career against left-handers, Jenny, .292.
Oh yeah, I know. I looked the numbers up for you.
.348 on base.
You got to be able to hit left-handed pitching, as you told me. He did it right. Here's a ground ball. Jacob Wilson. Another opportunity. Successful. Let's stretch here in West Sacramento. 2-1. A's lead the Rangers.
Back time now for the play of the day, presented by your California Ford dealers, and you know what it is. Snack'ems. Denzel scales the wall. Give it out. Bring it on back, Zell. I mean, something we are so used to, but it never gets old. Nor do his reactions. I tell you, Jenny, it's nice. I played against a guy in Torrey Hunter who made light work of really difficult plays just like that. And the baseball fan in you, even for a brief moment, even when it's against your club, you just sit back like, wow, this dude is ridiculous. And I know that people in the ballpark feel the same way. People on the other teams feel the same way. You know, I mean, and the Rangers have had their fair share of solid outfielders. I always think about what I believe is one of the greatest catches in the history of baseball. Gary Matthews Jr. going up and look at, scales the wall. But I mean, this is over his shoulder, well over the wall. I mean, most people don't even make an attempt at that ball. Most people aren't even in the vicinity to try to make an attempt on that ball.
Strike three here for Denzel, so he'll strike out to begin. One gone and back to Shea Langoliers. Yeah, to your point, won't even make an attempt. Denzel will make an attempt every time. More times than not, it's going to end up in his glove. By the way, we didn't know if that would necessarily be a home run from McCutcheon, but definitely extra base hits. It did travel 408 feet, so it would have been a home run in 14 of the 30 ballparks. Shea's had his success against the Texas Rangers. 2 for 4 yesterday, added a couple more hits. That marked 40 games for him. Most games he's played against any team, of course, a divisional opponent. He's also collected 41 hits in those 40 games, 11 of those being home runs. We've seen the damage he's done down in Arlington. He's admitted it's his favorite place to play. We're seeing Luis Curvelo warming up now.
Saw him last night.
Yep. Curvelo covered 2 innings of the game. Well, Shea's going to walk with 1 out here to lead way for Nick Kurtz.
A's fans, don't miss out on getting this special Nick Kurtz giveaway. You can be there this Friday, April 17th, 6:40 p.m. A's take on the White Sox. It's your chance to grab Big Amish's first ever bobblehead. You can be a part of a must-see night. Get your tickets right now at athletics.com/promotions.
And it brings up the Big Amish. Pitch inside. Kurtz has reached twice tonight. A walk and a hit. A walk made 16 base on balls for Kurtz this season. Christensen got out of the way quick. First base coach for the A's. Ball boy. Well, the hand, I don't know. Do you think it stings?
I know.
No, for the ball boy. Say, well, it's Nick Kurtz.
Possibly.
You're going after Nick Kurtz balls if you're a ball boy?
No, I'm probably ducking for cover.
Exactly. Count. Here's for Kurtz, left on left. Jacob Wilson getting ready on deck. Payoff pitch, a swing and a miss. Kurtz with the second strikeout here in this inning.
Just a good fastball from Garcia, able to blow it by the big fella and playing the matchup. Skip Schumacher coming back out. He's going to go get a right-hander. Curvelo, he'll square off against Jacob Wilson when we come back.
This telecast is brought to you by Toyota. Class-leading MPG and more hybrid models than any other brand. Toyota. Let's go places.
Jacob Wilson coming up with 2 outs, and Shea Langoliers on first here in the bottom of the 7th. Athletics up 2-1. 3 hits for their 2 runs. Rangers have 4 hits for their 1 run, and another pitching change for Texas will bring in a familiar face from last night.
Yeah, Curvelo last night, 2 innings. Did surrender the home run to Lawrence Butler. That was the only run of the night for the Athletics.
Berger holding Langoliers on. There's a big hole on the right side. Wide open for Jacob Wilson. If he chooses, you talked about the wizard with the wand.
Well, that's a heck of a pickup there by Danny Jansen. Let's start there. But for Curvelo, he's going to have to come in, try to spin that breaking ball for strikes. He gets a fastball away. Does Jay Willie? I like his odds. Oh,
that is straight to the backstop, and Langoliers will be on second, and Curvelo is just starting to walk off the mound, threw his glove down. He'll turn back around. The trainer's coming out.
No, Jenny, this was, I mean, he felt this right at release. This is not good. I'm not sure if he said bicep. I'm not going to even pretend to know. I can just tell you that that was a whole lot of pain. I mean, glove off. Come on out here. I mean, he couldn't even wave with the right arm. Oh, man. That is terribly unfortunate.
Just 2 pitches into his appearance. Obviously, no one warming up for the Rangers, so they're gonna take their time to scramble and try and find somebody to get loose.
Well, it looks like it's going to be Alexander.
You hate to see that for anyone on the field. Well, he'll warm up on the field as he runs in, and we'll be right back.
We're calling all college and grad students. You can grab your friends and head to the ballpark with this special offer. We got $10 tickets on select regular season games throughout the 2026 season. You can get your discounted tickets at athletics.com/value and come on out to the ballpark.
These guys have been treated to a nice display here tonight. The Athletics trailed 1-0, able to score 2 runs, both off the bat of Jacob Wilson, but he is dazzled all over the place tonight. 6 assists, he has a putout. He can do it all, can he?
Well, he sure can. Jacob Wilson came up with a big spot, delivered both runs the Athletics have tonight. And it was against a guy in Mackenzie Gore who had been off to a really good start so far this season. But it didn't stop there, Jenny. He's been outstanding defensively as well. And I think day in and day out, we continue to watch the growth of Jacob Wilson as a shortstop. I mean, so much hype surrounding what he did at the plate last year, and deservedly so. We're talking about a man who challenged for the batting title up until basically the last 2 weeks of the season last year. As you see, Tyler Alexander, 8th appearance. Pretty good lefty here for Skip Schumacher.
Be a strike, 2-1 count. 2 balls were thrown from Raylo, who came in the game, left the game. And a second pitch to the backstop, pointed straight to the trainer. Now it's the 4th reliever that Skip Schumacher's had to use tonight after the start from Mackenzie Gore. Close to Wilson, but he got out of the way.
Look out, Willie. You.
And a walk. Wilson will head to first. Langolier still at second. And up comes Tyler Soderstrom, who has a pair of walks himself tonight. The A's have been patient with this Texas Rangers pitching. It's the 8th walk of the night. Mackenzie Gore, the left-handed starter, had 6 of those issued. Talked ad nauseum how good Tyler Soderstrom is with runners in scoring position. Love to see some insurance pop up here for the Athletics. Swing and a miss for Soderstrom. Here's the 1-2 on the ground. It'll be to Berger, and he will flip it underhand to the pitcher. 2 left on for the Athletics to the 8th. Watch exclusive athletics interviews, extended highlights, and press conference videos, plus a ton of YouTube shorts, all on the NBCS Authentic YouTube channel. Subscribe now. Great aerial look at the ballpark here in West Sacramento. Athletics up 2-1 as we go to the top of the 8th. Logan Harris in for the A's, facing Ezekiel Duran.
We're at the 10th appearance for Hogan Harris this season. Left-hander's done a good job. We've talked all night long about the matchups for both these offenses against left-handers.
I love the way that it worked out here, right? Jeffrey Springs going deep into the game. We're able to deploy Sterner to make the final outs in the 7th, and now you have the 2 outs to work with a 1-run lead. You get to use your lone lefty out of the pen, as you've described. The woes, the offensive woes for the Texas Rangers coming in were strong against left-handed pitching. Hadn't had a hit since April 1st against a southpaw. Got a hit against Jeffrey Springs to start the game, so that opened it up, but outside of that 1 run they created in the 1st, not a lot going on. Well, that's a great reaction.
That's how you make a fan.
She's smelling it. Is it real?
Oh.
To center field, Denzel will freeze and make the catch. Duran retired, and that'll bring up the leadoff hitter and Brandon Nimmo.
Tell you, that foul ball, especially on date night, is going to do a lot of the heavy lifting.
Well, I think she was whispering to him, see, I told you I'd get one. First pitch swinging for Nimmo, a fly ball, shallow left, and out to get it will be the man of the game, Jacob Wilson.
Well, Willie's been all over the place tonight. She's like, that's right, I'm good luck. I'm good luck. I've told you, you should bring me to every game.
See, you're too busy holding the food, eating. I'm gonna track that baseball. Swing and a miss for Wyatt Langford. Take a timeout.
She's saying, so you know whose foul ball this is? Nachos.
We were all over it all the time.
I mean, look, even if she's a Twins fan, you know, she's a baseball fan
That's
now.
right, baseball fan. One and 2 for Langford, his first game back since Friday night. Had a homer against the Dodgers, kind of a strange injury. Hit the home run, comes in the dugout, and telling Skip Schumacher, my quad, I can't go back. Clearly good enough to DH. We'll see if he gets in the field with the 2 games remaining against the Rangers here in this series. 0 for 3 tonight is Langford as the DH. It. Call the ball 3-2.
Well, Wynn's just trying to do a little sell job back there on Gabe Morales.
And that'll miss. A 2-out walk.
The shortstop, number 5.
You can tell that Hogan Harris kind of taking the ball back. I'm sure that's frustrating with the count you had on Langford. Scott Emerson will come out.
Yeah, you want to finish the at bat, and you don't want to have to see another hitter. Understand the pitch count starts to creep up, and we've been talking about the fact that this is a 4-game set here, and every arm in the bullpen, and every arm in the bullpen that's available matters. You see Elvis Alvarado starting to fire away. But we've been telling folks this is the middle of a 16-game stretch, no days off here. So you got to pick and choose your spots if you're Mark Kotsay, and that's why if you can get through these innings efficiently, you do everybody a favor. You do yourself a favor. You're available a bit more throughout this stretch. You take stress off other guys down there.
Sterner trying to finish out the 8th here against Corey Seager now with the runner on first. Seager was 0 for 3 against Springs. Yesterday he had a late hit. It was a ground rule double in the 8th, and that sparked a bit of a rally for the Rangers, who tacked on 4 more. They won 8-1 yesterday. Josh Smith at first is the pinch runner. Harris ahead 0-2 again. They'll check over on Smith. See Travis Jankowski, their first base coach. Wasn't too long ago that he was suiting up and in the batter's box himself.
Yeah, not long ago at all. And by not long ago, I mean last year. He was with the Rangers a couple years ago. 4 games with the Mets last year. Spent some time with the White Sox and the Rays. Pretty good at bat here. These two lefties locked in a good one.
Same situation for Hogan Harris. Got ahead 0-2 and then a couple of balls. 2-2 count and a full count once again. Big bat looming on deck, responsible for 5 of the runs this series that the Rangers have. Runner taking off on the pitch, and it's a walk. Back-to-back walks for Hogan Harris, 2 on.
Well, I don't think it's going to go any farther for the left-hander. Mark Kotsay says, go get 100 miles an hour. Bring Elvis into the building, and that's exactly what we'll do. Elvis Alvarado, Jake Berger, a matchup here in the top of the 8th. Fans, don't miss your chance to grab some of the best giveaways of the season. From Nick Kurt's Hello Kitty and Star Wars bobbleheads, our post-game fireworks shows, one-of-a-kind wearables, we've got something for each and every baseball fan. 2026 is filled with can't-miss items. You can secure yours right now at athletics.com/promotions.
It's turned into a chilly night here in West Sac, but all bundled up and trying to see the A's through this. Top of the 8th, 2 on for the Rangers and 2 outs in a 1-run affair.
Well, Elvis Alvarado in the ball game now for Mark Kotsay. He said he gave Hogan Harris every bit of the opportunity to lock down this 8th inning. It just wasn't to be. So you turn to the fireball and right-hander against Jake Berger, who has, as you mentioned, partner, provided plenty of punch for this Rangers lineup here over the first 2 games.
Driven in 5 of the 9 runs. This one to left field, and Tyler Soderstrom there for the catch. So Jake Berger lines out, leaves 2 on, and we'll go to the bottom of the 8th with Max Muncy coming up. Game summary is brought to you by Toyota. Well, a little southpaw showdown pitcher's duel early in this one. Jeffrey Springs was fantastic. 6 1/3 for him. The 3 hits, the 1 run he allowed. Mackenzie Gore on the other side pitched into the 5th, but had 6 walks. So he was out after 94 pitches. He also had 5 strikeouts. The A's able to get to him in the 3rd and take the 2-1 lead. Compliments of Jacob Wilson. He's had just a marvelous game between the offensive side of things, driving in the 2 runs, the defensive side of things. One count here for Max Muncy. He'll take a pitch. 2-1. Muncy wins Geloff. Or excuse me, Muncy wins and Butler, who came in the game for Geloff, due up. And speaking of coming in the game, here is Evan Carter, who's taken over for Sam Haggerty in center field.
Looked like that caught Danny Jansen. Oh, right on the patella.
Pitch from Alexander, fouled. That can't feel good.
No, not at all.
He's still trying to shake it off as Jansen stood up to throw the ball back. Kind of just kicking that leg out. Stomper and Strawberry enjoying a nice evening. He had a nice defensive play, getting deep into left to make a catch. And strike 3. Once he strikes out for the 2nd time tonight, with 1 out, it'll lead way for the catcher in Austin Wins.
Well, Alexander just brings a fastball back over the inside part of the plate, and Muncy knew it.
Alexander got thrusted in this game real quick after the reliever before him hurt his arm on just the 2nd pitch he threw. So Alexander came running in, had to warm up, had the extended time on the field. He already had 2 balls against Jacob Wilson, who was up to bat during that sequence. Just fouled down the first baseline.
Yeah, you hope Cervello is okay.
You do.
You hate to see anybody go down like that. I mean, it was instantaneous. Ripped the glove off, waved the trainer out.
For Alexander, after the walk, he was able to get out of the inning, leaving a couple A's stranded. Work a Muncy here, and now an 0-2 count against Austin Wins. More action. And the A's bullpen now is Mark Leiter Jr. getting warmed up. It's a kill of the 9th. Wins has added to the success of the ABS challenges from the Athletics tonight as well. Perfect 2 for 2. Wins it off.
Great take. How about it? A little Winnie the Pooh action.
It's a great accessory.
Got the whole gang on there. Pooh, Tigger, Eeyore. Robert.
Is that your best? How about a line drive out into left center field? Wins on with a single.
Atta baby. Well, he found a pot of honey. Heater in. Away.
When your nickname's Winnie, you just go with it, right?
Just roll with it.
Follow suit, love it. Lawrence Butler up for the first time. He'll take a strike. Butler came in for Zach Geloff. Geloff made his first major league start in right field. Playing the outfield a little bit more at spring training, working into that with the pitching matchup tonight of Mackenzie Gore starting the game. He began, but defensive insurance in Butler. And now a 0-2 count as he does have to see a lefty. That's the problem when you're facing the Rangers. You look at that bullpen over there. They kind of have a lot of guys that don't really have defined roles, but they have an even split of 4 lefties, 4 righties. So lots to prepare for.
Well, it makes life easy on the skipper. Skip Schumacher.
Skip the skipper.
Marcotte mulling things over. And there's a reason that Mark Leiter Jr. is the one I think we'll see enter this ball game as Leiter's up and warming. Law Dog last night, though, able to erase the goose egg with a ball onto the berm.
Strike 3. Second out for Alexander. Second time an A's batter is caught looking here in the 8th.
Well, this is a credit to the arm side movement from Alexander. You can see how Jansen was set up, had his body sort of angled back towards the corner of the plate. Alexander starting that ball away, and the life brings it back over that outside corner.
Jeff McNeil with 2 outs. He swings at the first pitch, and it's lined into the glove of Corey Seager. That will end things. To the 9th, Mark Leiter Jr. coming in to close it out. Days at 5:30, Telemundo has your Northern California news in Spanish. From the latest forecast to what's happening in your community. Join Telemundo in Spanish weekdays at 5:30. 9th inning here in West Sacramento this Tuesday night. Game 2 of the 4-game set between the A's and the Rangers, and the Athletics looking to even up the series. They're controlled 2-1. Mark Leiter Jr. will have the 9th inning.
Be the 8th appearance for the right-hander, and remember, coming into the season, Marcotte, let it be known, there's going to be some roles that are just going to have to shake themselves out. And whether you want to call it by committee as Austin wins, we're now going to get an ABS challenge here presented by T-Mobile. And I don't know if we're going to get the call here. This one, in my opinion, looked just a bit low. Yeah. Yeah, that was robot for ball.
Yeah, I'm glad you speak robot. Evan Carter, who came in the game, up to bat for the first time. That is a strike. 1-1. Austin Wynns challenged 3 different pitches tonight, correct on 2, and then losing the challenge there. But it is the 9th inning. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
There's that nasty split, that equalizer for Leiter against these left-handers.
Carter. Strikeout for Leiter Jr. That's how the 9th begins.
I mean, I think just falls off the table. Just left mystified.
That'll bring up Josh Young. They're attacking early. Splitter again.
Looks like Jock Peterson has stepped out on deck. He would hit in the place of Andrew McCutcheon.
Peterson started in yesterday's game, not a 3-hit game. First as a Ranger, went 3 for 5. Jr. signed in the offseason with the Athletics and earned his first save of the season on March 31st. That was in Atlanta. Just look at Brent Rooker on the bench. Not a place we want to see Rook right now on the IL, dealing with his oblique injury. No timetable for him. Strike 3. Young caught looking. Off the heater, back-to-back strikeouts.
He paints. Just a well-located fastball at the bottom of the strike zone. Josh Young thought it may have been low, but at the end of the day, didn't have much of an argument.
Rangers down to their final out. Here is Jock Peterson to pinch hit. Take a strike. He's looking to win a 1-run game. Swing and miss. They went to the curveball, and now a 1-2 count.
That's a big old curveball. Slow Peterson way down. Now you could probably go a couple different ways if you want to, if you're lighter.
Fly ball to right. Lawrence Butler will come in, and that'll do it. Here in game 2, A's victorious. 2-1. Mark Leiter Jr. picking up the save and giving Jeffrey Springs another win. He's now 3-0 on the season. Jacob Wilson did his part, drove in the 2 runs, played fantastic defense, and once again, a total team effort in a very low-scoring affair tonight.
Well, it's always nice when you can see your starting pitcher go out there and back up what was a fantastic outing last time out with another repeat performance, and that's exactly what Jeffrey Springs did. 6 1/3 solid innings, just 1 run across. That was early in the ball game, and then it was complete shutdown city after that. The run prevention department, the run production department, all headed by the same fella, and that was Jacob Wilson, who we'll talk to in a bit. But just another outstanding effort from top to bottom in the bullpen. Once again, Jenny, coming in and providing the punch at the back end when you need it.
That's the A's 4th 1-run win since last Tuesday. They are now 9 and 8 on the season. And we will move to tomorrow. Game 3 of the 4 game set. JT Ginn on the bump. Kumar Rocker will take the ball for the Texas Rangers. And with tonight's victory, the A's snapped that win streak the Rangers had against the Athletics. That ends at 7. Plenty to wrap up here on this one. Looking forward to it. A 2-1 victory for the A's. They even up the series with the Rangers. Stay tuned. A's Cast on NBC Sports, presented by Toyota, starts now.